Oh hey, what's poppin'? So we have officially reached the month of March, the third month in the year if you didn't know. You probably should know, but here on my channel, we're not really the best at education. Anyway, we have officially reached March of 2024. Is it just me or does it feel like this year has kind of been going by like really fast? Like months have gone by in the span of weeks. Anyway, that's not the point I'm making. The point of this video is March of 2024 is what Beyond the Spider-Verse was supposed to come out in. Now, the initial planned upon release date for this movie was March of 2024. However, due to not wanting to rush the movie and obviously a lot of things happening over at Sony wanting to produce the best project that they could, I hope that's what they did, the movie got pushed back. Since the movie was supposed to come out this month, I thought I would go over everything that we know about the movie so far and kind of talk about it a little bit because obviously I want to build some hype with this movie because clearly I'm a huge Spider-Man fan and I want any chance I can to talk about this movie. So, everything that we know about Beyond the Spider-Verse so far, sort of, I hope. So obviously the first thing that we know about this movie is it was supposed to come out at the end of this month, March 29th of 2024, but it got pushed back. I'm hoping the reason it got pushed back was due to creative reasons, due to wanting to give the artists and animators proper time to actually work on the movie. Because as you know, if you rush a project, especially one like this that people are looking forward to, you're not going to get a good product. And we always want to have the third act of a trilogy be the peak. It wants to be the Return of the Jedi of the trilogy. Of course, I'm upset that it got pushed back, but I was one of the few people who was actually very grateful it got pushed back. I don't want to see movies like this rushed, especially when I care about it this much. However, the second thing we know about it is indefinitely delayed. So there's not a confirmed date as to when the movie is scheduled to come out, and that is a bit concerning. We know the movie is in production, we know that the movie is happening, we just don't know when. We haven't gotten any teasers, any trailers, any information whatsoever. At the moment, it is indefinitely delayed, so making content on this movie is actually pretty difficult to do. But that's never stopped us before. But it is said that they are knee-deep in production, so they're obviously still working on the movie. Things are still going down. All of the voice actors, all the animators, all the artists are still working on the movie. They haven't just sidelined this movie. It's still been a pretty top priority for Sony and Marvel, and from supposed sources, the production of this movie is going along great. I highly doubt any production studio would advertise that production of their movie isn't going along very well, especially given that it was delayed, but it is nice to know and hear that it is going along great. We also know that the beginning and ending of Beyond the Spider-Verse are already written. Now, I don't know what that says about the middle of the movie, if they're currently writing it, if the entire movie was written, if they were rewriting the middle, if they were happy with the beginning and the end and they just want to rewrite the things in between, if rewrites are still going down, or if they're actually in the process of moving forward with the script. Obviously, I hope we have a full and complete script before we actually move into production, but just like any sort of movie in production, there's going to be things such as reshoots, but given that it's animated, it would be, rewrites, reanimations, all that stuff. It also says that this is the last movie in Miles' trilogy. This confused me at first because I did hear from another source at another time, it was another post that came up, that before we see Miles in live action, we're going to get at least 2 more Spider-Verse projects. Now, I don't exactly know where this came from or who this came from. I'm going to see if I can find the source and put it up on screen now. If I can't, then you're just going to see a picture of me, and that just shows I'm not good at finding my source. Now we're getting more into the detail-oriented parts, more about the actual movie and the details about it. Obviously, this is just what we know now, and we can't confirm if it's rumor-based, so there's not going to be any spoilers yet. This says here that according to Shameik Moore, the voice actor for Miles in the first 2 Spider-Verse movies, this is the best movie in the trilogy. Now, those are his words speaking about Beyond the Spider-Verse, so obviously there must be enough either written or done of this movie for the voice actor of Miles to claim that this is the best movie of the trilogy. That is very exciting for me to hear personally because Into the Spider-Verse is my all-time favorite Spider-Man movie. That is my favorite story told by any Spider-Man. That is my favorite story following any Spider-Man. It is my favorite project in all of Spider-Man lore. So the fact that the actual voice actor for Miles Morales himself is saying that this is the best movie in the trilogy is pretty promising. Now, this is just the voice actor. This isn't a screenwriter or a director or a critic. This is the voice actor, so maybe it's just his favorite. But given the fact that he's basically in Miles' shoes the entire time, his opinion is definitely validated, and it makes me very excited to see the movie. This also brings in the next 2 points that we hear, is it is as emotional as the last 2 movies. And again, given the fact that these last 2 movies not only had a great sense of action, adventure, and comedy, but a perfect mix of emotion, super deep messaging in both movies. The first movie being about the leap of faith and the second movie being about doing your own thing across from the herd. This third movie probably has another lesson that is incredibly important to learn and teach, and I'm absolutely thrilled about that. I love when movies like this hit all the marks. They hit the action, they hit the adventure, they hit the comedy, they hit the drama, and you make a complete movie. It's also said that this is to be a satisfying conclusion to both Miles's and Gwen's story. So this kind of follows that one point from earlier that this is the last movie in his trilogy. Maybe this is the last time we're going to see this version of Miles Morales, and if that's the case, it's nice to hear that not only this is the supposed best movie of the trilogy, but he's going to have a satisfying ending. I can't speak for everyone, but I know that it is incredibly frustrating when we have a great character and they just don't get a proper send-off. They don't get a good ending. The ending gets butchered, the ending gets botched, especially given how close I hold this character to my heart. It's nice to hear that he's going to have a good ending. I don't want his story to end, but getting any sort of conclusion, I would hope that it is a satisfying and fulfilling conclusion, both for him and Gwen, because obviously she's taken the front and center of this next movie, and she took a lot of limelight in Across the Spider-Verse, so it's good to hear that they're giving those two ground characters, those two pillars of the movie, a satisfying conclusion. Now, obviously, that doesn't mean it's the end of their story. We can only assume it is, but it's just the conclusion of their story within the trilogy. The next thing we hear is about the Spot, and this is a very quick one, but it's kind of chilling to hear. The Spot becomes the Abyss. Now, this could mean a couple things. First and foremost, this could just be a name change. Obviously, we've seen the Spot evolve throughout Across the Spider-Verse from being just a villain of the week into this incredibly deadly and powerful entity that's actually coming out for Miles to get him personally. He is a huge threat now and is going to be one of the main points of Beyond the Spider-Verse. This could also be referencing the other Marvel character titled the Abyss from Earth 616, who is known as a powerful dark entity. The Spot could very well be turning into this universe's version of the Abyss. Or this could just be another moniker, another nickname, something to signify that the Spot is becoming more powerful. Obviously, we left that last movie with Miguel kind of being the antagonist and him being the front and center bad guy, but we can't forget about the Spot. He didn't just disappear. He's still a heavy threat, and this shows that he's going to be even heavier of a threat in the next movie. The next thing it says is very interesting. It says Miles wants to redeem Earth 42. So obviously, spoiler alert, at the end of Across the Spider-Verse, Miles ends up in the wrong dimension. He ends up in the dimension of the spider that bit him, which is not the spider from his dimension. To give the quick rundown, in Into the Spider-Verse, when Miles gets bit by the spider, that spider is not from his Earth, it is from Dimension 42, a different Earth. There is another Miles Morales on Dimension 42, on that Earth, that actually becomes the Prowler because he was never bit by his spider. That's why in Across the Spider-Verse, when Miles hits the teleporter, it scans him and it sends him to Earth 42 because it scanned the spider DNA from Earth 42, sending him to the wrong dimension, to the dimension that Miles was actually the Prowler. Then he gets captured by the Uncle Aaron from Earth 42. It's a whole mess, but obviously you've all seen the movie, otherwise you wouldn't be watching this video, so I don't know why I explained all of that. Anyway, this is very exciting to hear that Miles is actually going to go out of his way to redeem Earth 42. This could mean a lot of things. This could mean he tries to redeem Uncle Aaron from Earth 42. This could mean he tries to redeem Miles Morales from Earth 42 and they work together. Could you imagine a team up between the two Mileses against Miguel or against the Spot? We get Spider-Man Miles and Prowler Miles actually working together. That would be sick to see. Or of course we could just get a crazy duel between the two with a one-on-one fight and Miles is just trying to redeem the other Miles, or he's trying to redeem the entire Earth, because obviously it's gone to like an Armageddon type phase where everything is in chaos because there's not a Spider-Man there. We pick up with his story, he's still in Earth 42. He's still on the wrong dimension. And honestly, Spider-Man wanting to redeem a universe that has done nothing wrong to him but has just turned him into Spider-Man is the most Spider-Man thing I could think of. The next couple of things are very focused on Gwen, and I'm glad to see that Gwen is getting a lot more development, not only in the last movie but the next movie. Multiple variants of Gwen Stacy will appear and play an integral role into the plot. We are going to get multiple Gwen Stacys, whether that they are working together or individually. We are getting multiple Gwen Stacys that play heavy roles into the plot. Obviously there's a lot of dimension hopping. We've seen them dimension hop. We see the end scene of Across the Spider-Verse, Gwen is about to dimension hop with her crew to go save Miles. This could involve a lot of dimension hopping to get the other Gwens, maybe for advice, maybe for help, maybe to team up. We don't know, but they're going to play a heavy role and there's going to be multiple of them. Not only will they play a heavy role, they're also going to have an influence within the Gwen and Miles relationship. Maybe this is the heavy role that they play. The other Gwens talk to our Gwen about the Miles relationship, the fact that he's from a different universe, the fact that the spider was never supposed to bite him, the fact that maybe the line Gwen says, of, in every universe, Gwen Stacy falls for Spider-Man and it never goes well. Maybe they talk about that. Maybe she visits other universes where Gwen Stacy has not passed away or Gwen Stacy has not become Spider-Woman, and they play a role in their relationship, in their dynamic. Obviously, again, it's all speculation. I'm just spitballing here, but it's cool to see these different avenues that the movie could take. Kind of ping-ponging off of that last statement, the next one it says is the movie goes even deeper into the emotional connections between Miles, Gwen, Peter B, and more. Obviously, we said before this is going to be a more emotional movie, and it's going to hit the same emotional beats as the first two movies, and the fact that we're exploring more about our main characters. Any chance that we can get to more emotionally explore these three characters, I want to take, because all three are incredibly important to the story in their own right and the overall story told. They've all played heavy roles in the first two movies, so I see no reason why they wouldn't play one in the third. The next one gives me a very Spider-Man feeling, the feeling of only Spider-Man would do something like this. It shows us how Miles can turn that feeling of betrayal into something affirmative and good. We left the last movie with Miles abandoning all of the Spider Society because he felt betrayed that they were trying to keep him contained, that they called him a mistake. He was betrayed by Gwen. He was betrayed by Peter B. He felt betrayed by all of these people. But this is saying that he's going to turn that feeling of betrayal into something good. And maybe this ties into the other point of Miles wants to redeem Earth 42. Maybe Miles from Earth 42, the Prowler Miles, also felt betrayed. He also felt lost and abandoned. Maybe Uncle Aaron also felt that way. And this is what he can use to relate to them, to redeem them, to help them out, and we can get a team up scene. Whatever way it is, it would make a lot of sense for these two to connect. Overall, it's great to see that Miles is still retaining that Spider-Man quality. This obviously being with his feeling of betrayal from his friends and the Spider Society. And the last thing, it says, it shows us how the love the characters have for Miles impact his growth as a character. Now, this could be just a general statement because anyone can write this about any of the two first movies and it would be true, but this does mean a little more given the fact of how we ended Across the Spider-Verse with Gwen preparing to dimension hop to go save Miles directly against Miguel's orders. Not only did Miles abandon the Spider Society, but this whole ragtag crew of Spider-Man also abandoned the society for whatever reason. Maybe it's because they're dedicated to Miles. These are people who were from the first movie. This is Spider-Noir, this is Spider-Ham, this is Penny, this is Peter B and Gwen. These are people who have fought with Miles before. Maybe it's these people who want to go to save Miles because no matter what the Spider Society has taught them or said to them, they value the friendship Miles has more because he's the reason they were able to get back home in the first place. This could also mean a number of things. Maybe those people left the Spider Society for the same reason. Maybe Miles was the only one who stood up to Miguel, the only one who pointed out that maybe this is not right, maybe this is wrong. I have a whole theory on that, on why I think Miguel is wrong and he's actually an op, but I'm not going to share that yet. Maybe I'll share that later. If you're interested in that theory, let me know. I definitely want to share that. But the fact that Miles directly went against everything that he said and he just chose to do his own thing, maybe it inspired other Spider people to do the same or to actually question Miguel O'Hara. That could obviously mean a number of things, but all of them are exciting. So I do feel the need to preface that where I got this list, I got it off of Twitter and I can't confirm 100% that it is true. I went through and I looked up most of this and I could find multiple sources for multiple of these points, and nothing I said on here was just added on by a random person. They all have articles about them everywhere, but obviously we can't 100% confirm validity of the articles. So take everything I said in this video with a grain of salt, other than the fact that the movie was supposed to drop this month. Again, I'm not going to claim to be a news outlet, but I am going to share some cool things that I found. If you do find any other information or you find things to disprove all the things I said, to disprove that post I found, or any of the things that I said in this video, please do leave a comment down below because I would much rather people have the right, proper information rather than just believe what a random dude in a Spider-Man mask says. But hey, again, like I said, I'm in the same boat as you. I just wanted to share the information. I'm still incredibly excited for Beyond the Spider-Verse. Like I said, Into the Spider-Verse was my favorite Spider-Man movie of all time, and that still remains the same. Across the Spider-Verse was still an incredibly good movie, and so far they're 2 for 2. I really hope that they can pull through on the third one and make it a complete golden trilogy, because that would be insane. Anyway, I do hope that you enjoyed this video. Please let me know what you thought of it down in the comments below. Again, if you do know anything else, or if you do have any other information or links, please leave them down below. Keep free of spoilers, don't do that, but spoiler warning, if anyone is a jerk and decides to spoil something down below, don't be that guy. But I can't really control everything. Let's all just try to be nice. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Peace and love, do good things, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Yeah, Spider-Man!